It was nearly midnight when Mia stepped into the apartment elevator, her arms full of grocery bags. The building was quiet, except for the faint hum of the city outside. As the elevator doors began to close, a hand slid between them, her neighbor, Ethan, the man from apartment 7B. He flashed his usual half-smile, the one that never quite reached his eyes. "Late night shopping?" he asked casually. Mia nodded, avoiding eye contact. Ethan had always made her uneasy. Something about his calm, watchful demeanor seemed off. He stood close as the elevator began to rise. Suddenly, the lights flickered and went out. The elevator jolted violently before coming to a stop between floors. Mia gasped. What just happened? Ethan leaned against the wall, unfazed. "Looks like we're stuck." She pressed the emergency button frantically, but there was no response. Only silence and the sound of Ethan's slow breathing in the dark. Then came his voice, low and deliberate. "You know, I've been wanting to talk to you for a while." Mia's heart pounded. "About what?" He smiled faintly, illuminated by the faint glow of his phone. "You'll see, we've got plenty of time now." The elevator felt smaller, the air heavier. Mia suddenly realized she wasn't just trapped, she was trapped with him. Mia backed against the wall, clutching her bag as Ethan stared at her with unsettling calm. "What do you want from me?" she asked. Ethan chuckled. "Relax. I'm not going to hurt you. I just need you to listen." He told her he had been living next to her for 2 years, watching her come and go, listening to her late-night piano playing through the wall. "You have no idea how much you've helped me," he said softly. Mia froze. "Helped you?" He nodded. "Your music kept me sane after I lost my wife. You saved me without even knowing it." Mia's fear mixed with confusion. He didn't seem dangerous, just broken. Yet something about his words sent chills down her spine. She reached for her phone, but there was no signal. Ethan noticed and smiled. "No point. We're underground." Minutes passed in tense silence. Then the elevator creaked again. Mia's breath quickened. "Maybe someone's fixing it." Ethan shook his head. "No one's coming yet." His voice dropped. "Because I stopped it." Mia froze. "You? What?" Ethan looked up, eyes gleaming. "I just needed you to hear me." Without running away this time, Mia's pulse raced. "What do you mean this time?" Ethan sighed. "You don't remember, do you?" He reached into his pocket and pulled out an old photo. It showed a young couple and a little girl at a park. "That's me," he said quietly. "And my daughter. She used to take piano lessons. You were her teacher." Mia blinked, confused, then the memory hit her. "Lily," he nodded. "She adored you. Until the accident." Tears welled in his eyes. "You left before I could even thank you for trying to save her." Mia felt her stomach twist. She remembered the news, the car crash, the funeral she couldn't bring herself to attend. "I didn't know how to face you," she whispered. Ethan stepped closer. "I spent months searching for peace. Then one day, I heard your piano again. Next door." The lights flickered faintly, throwing shadows across his face. "You were my reminder that some things survive loss." Mia's fear softened into sorrow. "You could have just talked to me. I tried," he said bitterly. "But you kept avoiding me. So I made sure we'd finally have a moment to talk." Mia's breathing was shallow. "Ethan, you can't just trap people to talk." He sighed. "I didn't mean to scare you. I just didn't know any other way." Mia's eyes darted to the control panel. Maybe she could restart it, but Ethan caught her wrist gently. "Please, just 5 more minutes." There was a vulnerability in his eyes she hadn't noticed before. "I blamed you for Lily's death for so long," he confessed. "But then I realized it wasn't your fault. You were the last good thing in her life." Mia's eyes filled with tears. "I never stopped thinking about her." For a long moment, silence filled the elevator, thick with shared pain. Then, faintly, they heard a voice from above. "Maintenance. Is anyone in there?" Mia shouted for help. Ethan stepped back, relief washing over him. "Guess time's up." When the elevator doors finally opened, Mia stumbled out, shaking. Ethan didn't follow right away. He just smiled sadly. "Thank you for listening." Days later, Mia couldn't stop thinking about that night. The building had reported a temporary power malfunction, but she knew Ethan had caused it. Still, She couldn't bring herself to hate him. He hadn't hurt her, only forced her to confront a past she'd buried. One evening, she returned home to find an envelope under her door. Inside was a small photo of Lily at the piano and a note. "Thank you for bringing light back into my life. I'm moving away. Play one more song for her tonight." Mia sat at her piano, hands trembling. She began to play Lily's favorite lullaby, the one she hadn't touched in years. As the music filled the apartment, she felt the weight of guilt finally lift. She glanced out the window and for a brief moment, she thought she saw Ethan standing under the streetlight, smiling up at her before disappearing into the night. The elevator had trapped them both that night, but somehow, it had also set them free.